The file loaded on my laptop, screen glowing softly beneath the kitchen light. I adjusted the slide title. Projected growth. Q to Q4. Daniel poured red wine into one of the big glasses. We never used unless company was over. Still working on that thing? He asked, leaning against the counter, barefoot and smug. It's not a thing, I said. It's my launch deck. MHM. He took a sip, eyes skimming the screen from across the room. Let me see. I turned the laptop toward him. His eyes stayed on the slide for no more than 5 seconds before drifting up to my face. Projected growth of 30% in a saturated niche. That's optimistic. It's calculated. He walked over, set his glass down beside my mug, and hovered behind me. Let me guess, this is the one where you disrupt the whole market with your, what is it? Boutique social curation. Behavior-based media targeting, I said calmly. He snorted. Right? I stood up. Do you want me to walk you through it? His smile pulled at one corner. Go on then. Impress me. I started with the problem statement, kept my voice even, explained the market inefficiencies and our prototypes. Back-end integration. His brows lifted. Not in surprise, but performance. Wait. He held up a hand midway through my slide on strategic partners. Hold on. Did you actually put Karen down as your CFO? She's handling financial modeling. She has a graphic design degree. I stared at him. She worked 5 years in ops and managed a 7-figure client portfolio. Daniel burst into laughter. Not a chuckle, not amused. It came out full-bodied, head tilted back, wine glass clinking as his elbow bumped it on the way down. His laugh echoed against the tile and concrete. You're serious, he said, wiping at his eye. You and Karen and this deck. I didn't speak. I reached for the kettle, filled it, turned it on. Come on, he said. Don't look at me like that. Like what? Like I killed your puppy. I'm being honest. You're being dismissive. He leaned against the counter again, smile fading just enough to show he was recalibrating. It's not about being dismissive. I'm being realistic. You're smart, babe. You are, but this. It's just, you're trying to play a game with rules you don't understand. I watched the water heat, steam curling just beyond the spout. I reached for the jasmine tin. Seriously, he continued, voice softening like he thought it helped. There's no shame in having goals, but this isn't how you win. You need leverage, contacts, experience, not whatever this is. This is you wasting time on a vanity project. I poured the water slowly, watching it cloud through the leaves. You done? I asked. He paused. I'm trying to help you. No, I said, turning to face him. You're trying to shrink me. He laughed again, quieter this time. Jesus, don't go all therapist mode on me. Shrink you? You don't hear yourself. You just called my business a vanity project. You laughed at me. It's not personal. It's me, I said. And my idea. It's as personal as it gets. He moved closer, trying that familiar charm, voice dropping. Look, I just don't want you getting hurt chasing something that's going to collapse under pressure. You have talent, okay? Just maybe apply it somewhere more stable, somewhere real. And you decide what's real. I've been in this world longer than you. You mean the one where you burn out interns and fake your culture deck? His expression tightened. Where's that coming from? I watch. I listen. I notice things. Daniel crossed his arms. I don't need this argument. It's not an argument. It's a mirror. He grabbed his wine, took another sip, let silence fill the air like fog. Then he said, "This is why I don't bring things to you anymore. You get intense." I breathed in. Let the steam sting my throat. "You're afraid," I said finally. He gave me a sharp look. "Of what?" "Of me succeeding without needing you." Daniel set his glass down to hard. "Now you're being ridiculous." "No," I said. "I'm being precise." He shook his head, turned away. "This is exactly why no one takes you seriously." I smiled. I hadn't expected it, but there it was, calm and unshaken, rising through my chest like smoke. "I don't need them to," I said. "I only need one chance." Daniel scoffed. "You really believe that?" "Yes," I said, lifting my tea. "And I don't need you to." He stared at me, long and flat. "Fine," he said. "Go build your fantasy company. Just don't ask me to pretend it's not a waste of time." "I won't." I walked past him, steady steps to the hallway. His voice followed me. "You're being emotional," he said. "You're overreacting." I turned back slightly. "No, Daniel. I'm finally reacting exactly as I should." He had no comeback for that. The tea was hot in my hands. The air smelled of citrus and salt and tension that would linger until morning. But I was already somewhere else where his laugh couldn't reach me. Where silence was the start of strategy. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The silence started with skipped sentences. "How's your?" "It's fine," I'd say, before he could finish asking about the project. He never noticed I stopped offering updates. He noticed less in general. I moved my calls to the rooftop. My headphones, a coffee. My breath held still when the wind picked up. Numbers filled my nights. Karen filled the gaps. "You're quiet," she said, her voice sharp through my AirPods. "Did you tell him you registered the LLC?" "No." "Why?" "Because he'd laugh." Again, Karen paused. "You know, just because he doesn't see it doesn't mean it's not real." "He sees it," I said. "He just doesn't want it to exist without him." "You want me to come over this weekend?" "No. He'll be here. Then I'll pick you up. Saturday. Noon. We'll work from my place." I didn't answer. She knew that meant yes. Saturday came with cloud cover and Daniel's hangover. "You're up early," he muttered, watching me zip my bag. "I have a work session." "With who?" "Karen." He rolled onto his back. "You two still playing CEO?" I didn't flinch. "Still building." "Yes." "Okay," he mumbled. "Tell her I said hi. She doesn't care." That got a look from him, but I was already at the door. Karen handed me coffee the second I stepped inside. I put cinnamon in it, like old times. "God, I missed this," I said. "You mean missed me," she corrected, grinning. "So, how's our little rebellion growing?" I pulled out the binder I'd hidden in the back of my closet. "And quiet. Smart. Quiet is hard to sabotage." I nodded, flipping to the roadmap page. I started logging hours. Full structure. Early outreach. 3 warm investors. 1 might bite. Karen blinked. "You serious?" "Very." She pulled her laptop closer. "Then I'm all in." Back at home, the air had changed. Daniel was in the kitchen, chopping garlic. Jazz playing. He looked up. "You're late." Didn't realize there was a curfew. I was going to make dinner. "You still can." He watched me put my bag down. "You're different lately. Focused. Secretive." I met his eyes. "There's a difference." He smirked. "You know, you used to ask what I thought about your plans, your ideas. You used to listen. He scoffed, turning back to the cutting board. So this is the phase now. Stonewalling me. No. This is the part where I stop needing validation from someone who gives none. Daniel dropped the knife louder than necessary. If I'm so bad, why are you still here? I ask myself that. I said, walking past him Sunday morning. Karen texted. Karen. Sent you the draft budget. You okay? Me? Fine. Quiet. Karen. Loud kind of quiet or escape room quiet? Me. Forecast kind. She replied with a lightning emoji. Daniel didn't bring it up again. But the silence had shape now. Heavy. Like fog thick with edges. He didn't ask where I went. I didn't tell him. I started waking up early. Beat him to the coffee machine. Took my calls outside. Or in the parked car. Karen and I rebuilt the pitch deck from scratch. Cut the fluff, she said. Make it weapon tight. I laughed. You sound like you've done this before. I've watched enough people do it wrong. One night, past midnight, I came in from a call. Daniel sat on the couch, eyes on a muted documentary. You working? Again? Yeah. Late call with Karen. Investor warm-up. He blinked. Seriously? Seriously. He muted the TV entirely. Why don't you just let me help you? I tilted my head. You want to help me now. I know how this world works. You said I didn't belong in it. He leaned forward. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was being protective. No, I said. You were being territorial. He stood. Look, you've been acting like I'm the enemy. I don't need an enemy. I cut in. I just need space. To do what? Prove something. To build. To become. Daniel shook his head. You're making me out to be some villain. No, I said. You're just not the story anymore. His face tightened. What does that mean? I picked up my notebook. It means I'm not writing around you? The silence after that was complete. He stopped asking. I stopped offering. Every morning, my steps were quieter. Every night, my work grew louder inside my mind. Karen called it the incubation phase. You're birthing something lethal, she said one night. Then I need calm. You have my loyalty. And a spreadsheet with 10 months of runway if we play it smart. We will. One night, I found Daniel on the balcony, smoking. Something he only did when he felt small. I didn't say anything. Just walked past. He said, quietly, I miss when we were a team. I didn't stop. You never let us be one. The door closed behind me, and I kept walking. His phone lit up again. Eliza, 3 nights in a row. The first time, I pretended not to see it. The second, I watched him turn it face down. The third, I picked it up when the shower started. Eliza, still thinking about what you said. Eliza, couldn't sleep. Eliza, missed that laugh. Call me later? I put the phone back exactly how I found it. My hands didn't shake. They flattened. That evening, he was late. Again. I thought we were having dinner, I said as he walked in. He kissed my cheek like I was a habit. Got caught up at the pitch dinner. You know how it is. You missed my demo run. He pulled off his jacket. Didn't know it was mandatory. It was important. So is landing clients. I folded the napkin I hadn't used. Right? He poured wine. Don't start. I'm not starting. You have that tone. I have clarity. Daniel leaned against the counter. Look, I can't be everywhere. I'm doing my best. I didn't ask for everywhere. Just one place. He sighed. You're being dramatic. No, I said. You're being absent. The next morning, I watched him scroll in bed. Eliza says we're both too intense, he said, grinning. I didn't respond. He looked at me. It's a joke. Why is she talking to you about us? She's a friend. Who texts you at 2 a.m.? She's going through a divorce. She also misses your laugh. His expression shifted. You read my messages. I read the ones you leave unlocked. Wow. He sat up. You're spying on me now. I don't need to spy. Your phone lights up like a billboard. She's just someone I talk to. You don't talk to me. That's because every conversation turns into a courtroom. Maybe because you lie like a defendant. His jaw tensed. I never touched her. You don't have to sleep with someone to betray me. She's a sounding board. You mean she listens? He threw the covers back. You know what? Believe what you want. I already do. Karen noticed first. You okay? She asked over video. Why? You're quiet. Even for you. I'm thinking a lot. About the business? About the breach. Her face hardened. What did he do? He's emotionally outsourced. To Eliza. I nodded. Karen's single quotes s. Tone dropped. I swear to God. It's not rage. It's distance. Growing. You leaving. Not yet. But I'm not here. Either. 2 days later. I skipped his product launch. He texted. You coming? I replied. I have investor calls. He wrote. You're always busy now. I didn't answer. He came home buzzed on praise. Great turnout, he said. Even got a shout out from Danica Green. Congrats. He studied me. You didn't even ask how it went. You didn't ask how my calls went. He ran a hand through his hair. Are we competing now? I'm not playing. Feels like a game. I looked at him. Then you should have read the rules before laughing. Eliza's name kept appearing. Short messages. Delayed replies. He started smiling at his phone again. The kind of smile he used to save for me. One night, I came home to candles, pasta, a playlist we hadn't used since Tulum. What's this? I asked. Peace offering. For what? For us. He poured wine. I'm not hungry. You haven't eaten. I'm full of answers you never asked for. He set the bottle down. Jesus, I'm trying. You're trying to reset the clock. But I already heard the alarm. He walked around the table. Talk to me. I don't talk over noise. He touched my arm. Don't throw us away. I'm not. His voice cracked. Then what is this? I looked at the table. This is the last time you set a scene and expect me to play along. He went quiet after that. Shorter mornings, later nights. I stayed in the middle, watching, waiting, not mourning. The seed had sprouted. Not anger, not even grief, just the root of resolve. And it was growing. The key made a soft sound when I set it down, barely more than a sigh against the wood. He hadn't noticed I'd been packing in pieces. The boxes were stored at Karen's. The sublet lease was signed last week. I left the oven spotless. Like it mattered. Daniel walked in just after 8. His tie half loosened, expression unreadable. You didn't cook? He asked. I had dinner. Already. With who? Myself. He glanced at the table. You could have waited. I didn't feel like waiting anymore. He dropped his briefcase near the couch. You're really on a roll lately. First it's investor calls. Now it's solo dinners. Do I even live here? You're here, I said. You're just not with me. He looked up. You want to do this now? No, I said. I already did. I turned off the last light in the kitchen. My bag was by the door, my coat folded over the handle. Daniel frowned. What's that? My bag. He stepped closer. Where are you going? I'm not going, I said. I'm gone. He laughed, confused. Very poetic. Seriously, what is this? This is the part where you realize you never listened. Come on, don't be dramatic. I'm being surgical. He stared. You're actually leaving. I nodded once. For how long? I don't know. You don't know, he repeated. You make a whole thing about how I'm never present and now you're just disappearing. I'm not disappearing. I'm separating. Same thing. No, I said. Disappearing is what I did every time I swallowed my words to keep peace. Separation is strategy. Daniel crossed his arms. You're doing this because of Eliza. I'm doing this because of everything. She meant nothing. That's the problem. You treat everything that isn't you like it means nothing. He looked down. So this is it. There's no scene, I said. No screaming. No slamming doors. Why not? He snapped. You're clearly angry. I'm not. I'm clear. He grabbed the key. You're really just leaving this. After 3 years? I'm leaving the illusion of it. So you're quitting. No, I said. I'm editing. Daniel pointed toward my laptop still closed on the table. What about your deck? Your startup? You think you can do all that alone? I've been doing it alone. He exhaled sharply. You're gonna crash. You think it's easy out there. You think people care about your ideas. They care more than you did. That's not fair. It's accurate. He shook his head. And where are you going? A sublet on Eastern. With who? Just me? Bullshit, he said. You don't just walk out like this unless someone's waiting. There is. I said. Me. He stepped back like I'd hit him. You always made it about competition, I said. But I was never trying to beat you. I just wanted to build beside you. You sound rehearsed. No, I said. I sound ready. Daniel rubbed his face. So what? You just decided this behind my back. I decided it after watching your back turn for months. You're running. No, I'm choosing not to stay somewhere I'm dismissed. He looked at the floor. I was trying to protect you. By laughing at me. By pushing you. You weren't pushing me forward. You were pushing me down. He stepped forward. We can fix this. I stepped back. You can't fix what you refuse to admit broke. Silence held. Then he said, You won't make it without me. My voice didn't rise. You already didn't make it with me. Daniel grabbed his coat. You're overreacting. I reached for the doorknob. And you're out of moves. He opened his mouth, closed it, turned away. I left food in the fridge, I said. It'll keep for a few days. He didn't respond. I walked out without slamming the door. Outside, the air hit me like clarity. Cold, full of space. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. Freedom was cold. The kind of quiet that hums at night when the traffic dies and your phone stops ringing. But it was mine. I worked from a borrowed desk at the back of a shared studio. 2 chairs, 1 cracked window, and a kettle that hissed. Like it was angry. It was enough. My first client came from a forum post. My second came from a Slack intro Karen finessed. I said yes to everything. I stayed under the radar. And then Samira walked in. You're using a fake name, she said, flipping the business card I gave her. It's not fake, I said. It's filtered. She raised an eyebrow. I like that. You filter out noise or men? Both. We were at a founder mixer, hosted by the incubator. She wore a linen suit in silence like armor. No pitch deck. No handshakes unless she initiated. So what's your game? She asked. Content analytics. Behavior-based growth. Everyone says that. I don't say it to impress. Samira stared at me, then nodded. Let's grab coffee. Tomorrow. The next day, she tested me. What would you do with a brand that's losing organic reach but still has strong sentiment? Segment intent clusters. Shift the content cadence. Map tone to time. She blinked. You talk like someone who's had to prove things every hour. Samira sipped her espresso. You have the posture of someone who's been underestimated. I was. And now I'm using it. She smiled slightly. Good. Weeks passed. We met twice a week. She asked about projections, partnerships, pricing tiers. You know what you're doing, she said once. Don't sound so surprised. I'm not. I'm confirming. She started introducing me to people quietly. At first, she let me use my filtered name. Then she pushed. When are you going to stop hiding? When I've earned the reveal. People don't respect what they can't see. They also don't sabotage what they don't know exists. She nodded, conceding. You've seen some things. Enough to build around the fire. My numbers climbed 50 users. Then to 100. Then 1,000. I built with precision. I didn't chase attention. I chased loyalty. Karen helped run ops. A college intern named Ava handled inbox overflow. I taught myself to sleep 5 hours and function like I slept 8. SAMI watched it all. You're bleeding for this, she said. It's mine. Even a sword cuts its wielder if you grip it too tight. I'd rather bleed than beg. She smiled. Rare and sharp. Then let me help sharpen the blade. We sat in her office the day she offered capital. I'm in for 150. Clean. Terms. I want 10%, and I want an early. Why me? Because you scare me a little. I laughed. That's your criteria. No, she said. But it's a good start. I paused. You'll be the first money in. I know. High risk. High return. I'm not pitching to anyone else yet. I know that too. I looked at the term sheet, then at her. No special voting rights. No need. No founder override clauses. You're the founder. Own it. I signed. She extended her hand. Welcome to phase 2. That night, I sat on my mattress on the floor and stared at the ceiling. No champagne. No fireworks. Just the sound of my own breath. And the memory of a laugh that once tried to break me. It echoed, then faded, then disappeared entirely. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. We named it Varela in the middle of a rainstorm. Karen sat cross-legged on the floor of my sublet, whiteboard marker in hand, hair up, socks mismatched. You sure? She asked, circling the name. Yes. It sounds surgical. It is. She smiled. Then let's cut. Series A closed 3 months later. 2.6 million. 3 backers. 1 bulletproof cap table. Karen popped a bottle of kava in the shared kitchen while emails came in. Like flood water. Samira texted. Welcome to the big seat. I opened my laptop. There it was. TechWatch exclusive. Virela secures major backing to challenge industry titans. I scrolled. My name. Full spelling. No pseudonym. No filter. An hour later, his name blinked in my inbox. Daniel? Impressive. That was it. I stared at it. I didn't reply. Karen walked in holding two glasses. Guess who noticed? I said, turning the screen. She read the message. Took him long enough. 2 years late, she clinked her glass to mine. Here's to belated recognition. The next morning, he called. I let it ring. He called again that night, voicemail. Hey, saw the article. You really did it. Would be good to catch up. I didn't delete it. I archived it. 2 weeks later, I walked into an industry roundtable at the Apex Hotel. Karen adjusted my blazer just before we entered. Ready to be seen? I've been seen, I said. Now I'm being remembered. We took our seats at the founder table. 5 minutes in, I felt it. His voice. To chairs. Over. I'm telling you, the B2B channels are breaking under their own weight. I didn't turn. Karen leaned in. He sees you. I know. Daniel stood during Q&A. I'm curious what Virella's take is on consumer-driven architecture. I met his eyes. We don't build for the gatekeepers anymore. We build around them. He paused. Smiled. Almost. That's bold. It's effective. Afterward, he approached. I didn't expect to see you here. I did. He nodded. Your feature was impressive. You said that already, right? He looked down. Did you name it after anything? No, I said. But it seemed to cut deep. Back in the elevator, Karen nudged me. He looked pale. He looked late. Same thing. The next day, TechWatch published a follow-up. Virella's quiet disruption. How one startup is reshaping the table everyone fought to sit at. This time, they quoted me directly. I used my full name. Twice. Daniel didn't write again. He didn't have to. The silence said enough. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The ballroom shimmered in gold. Too much glass. Too many suits. And not enough fresh air. But the name tags were useful. Karen whispered. He's here. I didn't need to ask who. She nodded toward the far side of the room. Black suit. Drink in hand. Confident tilt. Daniel. He hadn't changed his walk. Still thought every step earned applause. Samira joined us at the table. Glass of neat scotch in hand. You look lethal, she said. Good, I replied. Tonight is optics, she added. But don't forget subtle winds make loud echoes. I glanced at Daniel. I'm not chasing noise. You don't need to, she said. You're the signal now. An hour passed. Faces blurred. Cameras flashed. Names I used to pitch. To now leaned in when I spoke. When I turned, Daniel was 3 feet away. Didn't think you'd come to this, he said. I'm on the speaker list. Still, he said, this doesn't seem like your scene. It is now. He smiled. I read the term sheet leak. Smart raise. Clean. You sound surprised. I'm not, he said. Just curious. About what? How you pulled it off. I sipped my drink. I stopped asking for permission. He blinked. That's a good line. It's not a line. It's a ledger. He tilted his head. So you really built Virella from scratch? I built it from what you called scraps. He gave a low whistle. You always were stubborn. No, I said. I was steady. There was a beat. I'll admit, he said. You've done well. I didn't ask for admission. Still, he added, I meant it as a compliment. I'm not collecting those either. Daniel looked down at his drink. You're sharper now. No, I said. I'm just not dulling myself to fit you anymore. Samira appeared at my side. Daniel, she said, cool as steel. I've heard of Echelon. He extended his hand. We've done some good work. She didn't take it. You're the one who missed Series A, right? His smile flickered. Excuse me, Virella, she said, gesturing toward me. I brought her in. Daniel looked at me. You two are working together. Samira answered. We're building something you never saw coming. I noticed the market shift, he said. No, she replied. You noticed the headline. The shift happened months before. He said nothing. Samira turned to me. They're calling you the clean knife. I raised an eyebrow. That a compliment? It means you cut through quietly. The best kind of threat. Daniel's jaw flexed. Samira smiled. Excuse us. We walked toward the terrace. You didn't have to do that, I said. She shrugged. He needed the mirror. Consider it held up. Samira stopped by the railing. Let him stew. You don't owe him grace. I'm not giving him anything. She clinked her glass to mine. Exactly. Later, I passed Daniel again near the bar. He didn't speak, but this time, he looked down first, and I kept walking. Later that week, a reporter called for comment. Cynthia advised, be brief, be clear, on record. I said, we stand by our work, fully documented, fully clean. Our focus remains on building, not defending what was never theirs. It ran. The next morning, headline bold. She didn't just build around him. She outscaled him. 2 hours after that, Daniel emailed subject. Enough. You made your point. Let's settle this like adults. I wrote back one sentence. We already. Id. Cynthia grinned when she saw it. Remind me never to cross you. You won't need to. You just made a name in legal circles too. I nodded. Good. Let it echo. Daniel didn't follow up. He didn't file. He vanished. All that noise. And in the end, silence. The cease and desist came on a Tuesday. A courier with too much cologne. Envelope sealed in drama, and Karen opened it. You've got to be kidding. Let me guess, I said, not looking up. Infringement, she read. He's claiming proprietary overlap with Echelon's code base. He's bluffing. Karen handed it over. He attached screenshots. I scanned the printout. He doesn't even understand what we built. Cynthia Graves met us at her glass-walled office in Midtown. No pictures. Just books, metal, and calm authority. Let me see the letter, she said. I slid it across. She skimmed, lips tight. Classic bullying. No foundation. Pure ego. Can we shut it down quietly? Karen asked. No, Cynthia said. We shut it down publicly. Karen glanced at me. You okay with that? Yes, I said. I'm done playing under tables. Cynthia nodded. Then we'll reply with fire. 2 days later, she called. Did you document development? From inception? Every version. Names, timestamps, platform logs. All of it. And we notarized pre-launch specs. She exhaled, satisfied. He's got nothing. Just bark. What's our next move? Public disassembly. I'll draft a response and copy you. Karen paced while the letter went live. He's going to lose his mind. He already did, I said. This is just paperwork. She laughed. You really want to piss him off? No, I said. I want him to see I'm not scared anymore. The article dropped for hours later. Virella responds to Echelon's infringement claim with receipts, lawyers, and precision. Screenshots. Dates. Cynthia's signature. A single sentence at the end. We invite a full audit. Daniel called. I let it go to voicemail. Hope you're proud. Dragging this out in public. Real mature. I texted Cynthia. He's still trying. She replied, let him. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Karen sent the headline to our team's Slack before it hit public feeds. Echelon loses Apex account to emerging challenger. The challenger was us. SAMIRA called. Pop the cork yet. I'm drinking jasmine tea. You're allowed champagne. No. I said. This is better cold. We didn't gloat, no press release. No quotes. Just silence and execution. Exactly the kind Daniel used to mock. The next morning, TechWatch ran their own headline. The disruptor Echelon underestimated. They didn't even need to mention my name anymore. Everyone knew. Karen tapped on my glass wall with her knuckle. You ready for this? For what? He's spiraling. I closed my laptop. Proof. An Echelon engineer just messaged Ava. Said Daniel's been locked out of internal systems. Board move. Karen nodded. They're calling. It's strategic realignment. I leaned back. He always hated that phrase. Eliza emailed me 3 hours later. Subject. Not that it matters, body. He told me I was too emotional. That your company wouldn't last 6 months. He's out now. Thought you'd want to know. I left him last month. I'm not sorry. I read it twice, then deleted it. Later that evening, Karen held out her phone. Want to see something? No. It's poetic. I looked. A grainy photo. Daniel walking alone outside Echelon's old headquarters. Same coat. Shoulders hunched. No entourage. Looks like a man chewing ashes, she said. I told him they'd taste bitter. He never reached out. Not after the headline. Not after the board vote. Not after Eliza. That silence. That was the apology. And I accepted it. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. It starts the same every time. Daniel, then a pause. Then deletion. Then again. Sometimes I type for pages. Sometimes it's just one line. You made me doubt things that deserved to be believed in. Or, you never broke me. You just taught me where the cracks were. But I never send it. The folder's name is proof. It lives between legal docs and launch decks. Inside, the letter, every mock-up, every dated version of the deck he laughed at. It's not backup. It's memory. Structured. Time-stamped. Untouched. Karen caught me staring at it once. Thinking about opening it? No. You sure? It's not for now. It never was. Then what's it for? For the version of me who needed someone to hear her. She nodded. That version's long gone. No. I said. She's archived. Some nights. I still open the, not to change it, just to read. To remember how small I felt. And how clear I became. You thought I needed your belief. I only needed distance. I almost sent it once. After the lawsuit. After the silence. My cursor hovered over the forward button. My heart was calm. That's when I knew. It wasn't his anymore. That never had been. The letter ends simply. I didn't leave to hurt you. I left because I finally understood. There's no partnership where only one person gets to speak. Then a line break. You said my goals were naive. They became your competition. I don't revisit it out of anger. I revisit it to see how far I've walked. And to remind myself. There was a day I still wanted him to read it. Now, I only want to make sure I never forget what it taught me. The glass caught the morning light just right. Sharp lines. Clean angles. Our logo etched beside the handle below it. In black serif letters. Virella, founder, and CEO. My name. Karen stood beside me. Want to do the honors? I opened the door. The space was bare but humming floor-to-ceiling windows. concrete floors. Soft light on whiteboard still blank. A breath held between phases. Samira walked in with a bag of croissants. No balloons. We opted for power over confetti. I said. Cynthia followed, phone in one hand. Lease cleared. Security systems up. Karen grinned. And Wi-Fi. I thought we'd lead with that, I said. Samira handed out espresso. To new chapters. We clinked cups. I walked into the corner office last. My desk faced east. The ceramic mug sat in the center, white, chipped, and familiar. Karen noticed. Is that from? Yes, I said. A reminder, a relic. Samira leaned in the doorway. You okay? Better than okay. She smiled. Then let's get to work. We gathered around the whiteboard. Marketing runway. I asked. 3 months minimum, Karen said. 6 if we stagger tier launches. Legal review. Cynthia nodded. We're bulletproof. Partnership pipeline. Samira smirked. Full. I wrote one word in marker. Scale. Later, I sat alone in the office. Sunlight spilled across the floor. My name glinted on the glass. Karen knocked gently. They're heading out. Good. She looked at the mug. You brought the past into the present. I nodded. So I never mistake where I came from. Karen reached for the door. Your name looks good up there. It earned the space. She smiled. See you in the morning, boss. When the door clicked shut, I exhaled. No echoes. No shadows. Just sunlight, silence, and strategy. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Sometimes I still hear it. That laugh. The one that cracked like glass the night I showed him my deck. But now, it doesn't echo. It dissipates. Karen knocked on the doorframe. Board meeting in 10. Thanks. She lingered. You good? Better than good. She nodded. You're different. I'm whole. After she left, I opened the drawer. The folder was still there. Proof. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. Samira joined me on the rooftop after the meeting. You were calm today, she said. Clarity does that. You always had it. No, I said. I had hunger. Clarity came later. She smiled. Now, what? Now I build without ghosts. That night, I walked home, no driver, no calls, just the city and my steps at a red light. I passed Echelon's old office, different logo now, new tenants, his shadow gone. I stood across the street for a moment, no heat, no weight, just stillness. A man in a suit stepped out the door. It wasn't him. But even if it was, I wouldn't have crossed. Back at my place, I poured tea. Same brand, different kitchen. I sat at the table, hands wrapped around the mug. No cracks, no chips. The laugh didn't come, not this time. Only silence, and in it peace.